Oh shit, you know what it is. Look what time it is. Podcast time. Episode number 8. Links at the bottom of the screen. Come join the show. Let's talk about it. All we gotta do. Oh shit, Scott motherfucking Hicks in the building. Look at that motherfucker's been working out. That motherfucker, I'm so jealous of him. He's been doing 1,000 push-ups a day. You pick the topic, we talk about it. Let's go.
Pow! Man, how do you not get hyped with that introduction?
Got motherfucking Hicks is in the building. You know the name of the game. You want to talk to us? The bottom of the screen has the link going across it. Just totally. If you don't want to join the show physically on video, and talk to us, just talk to us through the comments. Scott loves having conversations with people in the comments. He sees the comments before I see the comments, and I kind of put them on the screen so you can see the comments. So we definitely pay attention to all the comments. If you do come in, see we got 2 live viewers right now. Go ahead and just say something. Hey, what's up? How we doing? Let's talk about it. But more importantly, we'll know who you are and we could talk to you. But if you don't want to stick around and you think he sucks and I suck, it's fine. Just share it, bruh.
Hit share.
That's all we're saying. Just hit share and then leave.
If we piss you off right before you leave, hit share.
So I'm saying, not even if we piss you off, if you're like, look at these 2 fucking stupid fucks trying to have a podcast on Mechanicsville, and you just want to move the fuck on, then you just hit share and then leave. Like you don't even have to go into the video, but you should, because we're gonna talk about anything you want to talk about.
This is homegrown shit right here. You should be sharing it even if you don't like it. This is homegrown. Nobody's paying us a shit ton of money to do this yet.
Yeah, we got a little bit of sponsorship going on. Shout out to Jason. What's up, fellas? He was on the Who Cares podcast with your boy about 3 weeks ago. I'm your boy. He's great. Hopefully he can come on tonight. Oh, that's who I wanted to introduce you to, actually, Scott. That's a gentleman I told you about. So, Jason, if you ain't doing nothing, you know the deal. Put the thing in. We pop in. See, if Jason wants to come on and talk to us like he should, then he just puts in that freaking thing at the bottom of the screen and anything you got. A phone. Don't tell me you ain't got a streaming device. I see 4-year-old kids walking down the street with fucking iPads. So I know you can stream, pop it in. We talk. It's that easy. It's really, really that easy. Anyways, how you doing, Scott?
Fucking awesome, man. Today is a terrific day.
Damn, I love hearing people say that.
Yeah. I played golf this afternoon.
Again, though.
Try to get out there once a week, man. I don't have any score to brag about or anything, but I can just say this. I started the back 9. First 2 holes, I was 1 under.
Damn, player.
It all fell apart.
So you birdied.
100? I did not.
Damn. So that would mean that in the front 9 that you birdied at least 1 hole and parred the rest.
No. I said I started the back 9.
Oh, started the back 9. I thought you said I went into the back 9. I was like, damn.
That's where my bragging ends. Par on number 10, birdie on number 11, and then a whole bunch of shit after that.
Yeah,
but it was golf, man. I mean, what are you going to complain about?
I mean, it's fun, man.
Yeah.
I thought it was kind of raining out today, though.
It was. I mean, it was a little tiny bit this morning. And I had set this up because it was supposed to be like 61 and partly sunny. Shit, I don't think it got over like 53, and we didn't see the sun at all. So it was a little chilly out there. But I mean, it's not nothing.
Oh, it's fucking golf. It was a bit chilly out there. Fucking playing golf, man.
Yeah. Came home, wife looking sexy.
Damn, no way.
Dinner ready. So, how's my day?
Who's got it better than you, bro?
I don't know.
I mean, really, who's got it better than you? Nobody.
G's got it pretty tight.
No, G ain't got shit tight like that. Well, dinner was done when I got home, and my wife
See?
stayed looking sexy. So I guess I got it like that. I just didn't get to golf today because some people have to work. You know what I'm saying? The working class, Mr. freaking lefty liberal boy, the working class right here. You don't even get a stimulus check. You make too much money, you get a stimulus check, dog. I don't even talk about it.
We ain't even have that discussion. It's not true. Though. I got my stimmy.
You ain't getting no stimmy?
I got my stimmy.
You already got it?
Boom.
No way. You got it already.
Mm-hmm. You didn't get yours for real?
Dog, I just got my first one like 4 months ago. I never got the $600 one. And oh, dude, it was, you don't remember? I used to make videos going to my mailbox daily looking for my Trump check. Now I'm looking for my fucking Biden check. They suck. They suck.
No shit. That I saw it over the weekend. It was.
I don't like how they do it.
What? You don't like the direct deposit or what?
I don't like how they decide who gets money because they're like, oh, we went off your 2019 taxes. That's fine if you had a job in 2019, but you might not have your job right now. So, it might look like in 2019 that you didn't qualify for it, but you don't even have a job right now. So you wouldn't get your shit based off what you used to make.
So you could have, I think that there was an opportunity where if you could do your taxes before the stimulus, then you could use either 2020 or 2019.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that makes sense. That's fair.
Yeah, so,
and if you didn't do them, well, that's not fair either because you might not just got your W-2.
Well,
yeah, I know. I just got a W-2 in the mail like 3 days ago.
I probably should be more concerned about it. I mean, of course, I feel sorry for those people, but if you're going from 2019 making too much to get a stimulus to 2020 not making enough, I mean, that's a bad situation.
I'm saying you lost your. I'm just saying you lost your. Yeah, like the hundreds, thousands of people that lost their jobs is what I'm saying. I don't think there should be another way for them to. I guess you're getting unemployment though if you lost your job, right?
Yeah, I guess. And if you don't work, I mean, do you have W-2s you have to worry about for 2020? I don't know. I mean, there's probably going to be some things falling through the cracks, but I just think that the I don't think you can. I don't think there's any way to design something like that covers every possible situation. And
no, it doesn't. I'm just saying, the basic rule is we're gonna go off your last file's tax. I mean, whatever.
Yeah.
So if that's 2019 and you were at 167,000 combined with your family, and then you lost your job, and they're basing it off the 167 and say you can't have it. That's the part I don't understand why they would do that. Well, but I understand why they do that because how else are they going to know what you made? I get it, but it's a little flawed.
Yeah, it's not a
and I'm going to need my stimmy check to fill up these goddamn fucking gas tanks I got to fill up. Thanks, Biden. That shit was like $285 today.
Was it? Yeah.
Yeah, the flat Valero.
So it sucks. It does suck. We're gonna get into that. We can get into that. Did you see the thing I got into this week on Facebook on that?
No, but I will fucking put it up. That's for sure.
It wasn't me.
Not put it up, but.
I mean, I didn't post it. And
but it's a comment on your page though.
No, well, so somebody else posted it. I don't know if I want to say who, but a friend of the show. Have to. A friend of the show, Mickey Wright.
Oh, really? Oh,
he didn't post it, but he commented, right, and he likes to troll a little bit, so he tried to drag my wife into it, Michelle.
Oh, we got someone. We got a special guest.
We
got a special guest straight from the depths of New York. Far, far away where we want New Yorkers to stay. No, I'm just kidding. My boy, Jason Ryer's in the building.
What's going on, fellas?
What up, man?
Can't call it Jason. This is my buddy Scotty.
Scott, how you
Motherfucking
doing?
Hicks. This is
Good
my
to see
cousin.
you,
I think
man.
we talked about it. I think he's my cousin-in-law, ex-cousin-in-law, some shit like that. You just say my cousin. That's right. Speaking
right,
of gas prices, you live in New York. Where they sitting at? What's gas up there?
With the credit card, like $2.75,
Look, he's not a
$2.78.
motherfucker that makes too much to get a stimulus check. He don't know how much gas is.
Yeah, it's just
$2.75.
yeah,
Lord,
better than
we're
here.
getting screwed. It's $2.85 by my house.
yeah. This shit is no joke.
I know.
Went to
What's going
went to
on,
PA,
Biden?
and it was even more expensive out in PA.
Yeah.
Shit is no joke.
Wait, I thought that was always cheaper. Everybody goes to PA to get cigarettes and stuff.
I mean, it might be that way for cigarettes, but gas is not fucking cheaper. Gas is ridiculous.
That's crazy. See, you know
Yeah.
why? Because fucking Joe Biden was born there. That's why.
It'd be like that sometimes.
Fucking Pennsylvania.
It'd be like that sometimes.
Damn. Yeah. So anyway, a couple people posted, and I actually paid attention to the gas, and I realized I said, "Damn, that shit did go up." I've been kind of keeping an eye on it this week, and because I never really paid attention to it before, and I was like, "Damn, they're right." But I looked it up. Not this month so far. All they have is January and February. Obviously, they didn't do March yet, and compared it to 2020, and they have and it's actually last month was 20 cents more last year, but right now we are about 13 cents above. But if you look at the next few months, like May, I swear to God, gas was like $1.19. So are we gonna get back to that shit? You remember that?
I don't
Well,
It
shit,
know.
was
when I
an
was a
all
kid-
time. It was the best all time. It was the best of gas prices of all time. It was the best.
When I was a kid, I
Telling
remember
you.
like 119, but now, I mean,
Shit.
Shit.
When you was a kid, it was like 89 cents. When Scott
when he was a kid,
was
they didn't even
when
have
Scott was
cars.
when Scott was a kid, they had to feed the horses.
Little horse and buggy and shit.
Dude, I will say this. 1986, gas got as low. The bottom fell out of the oil market. It was less than $10 a barrel for oil or something crazy like that. And gas got down to 59 cents a gallon.
Wow.
That's some crazy shit.
In your lifetime? You said 1986?
Yeah.
You said in your lifetime.
Damn.
It's been a long
Was it
lifetime, man.
recent
A
or
lot of
recent?
shit has happened.
It is. So what you been doing, Jason?
Chilling, man. Got off work today.
How's life?
Life's all right, man. You know, taking it one day at a time. You know, dealing with
What
life
happened?
stressors and things like that.
What are you showing us?
What is that?
I can't tell what that is, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. It has a COVID up there. Is everything back open?
No, but what was that you were trying to show us?
Yeah, you're just gonna skip right over that.
We got a hella delay.
Yeah, he just like totally disregard.
Oh, there we go. I saw you shake your head.
What is it?
Oh, I was trying to. Yeah, so it's a
You don't know.
soundboard that my
Oh.
boy got me. Shout out to donate it to the show. It's a
Oh, okay.
soundboard
Nice.
so I can get some more mics and fuck this shit up a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
That's what's up.
Shout out to Howard Knuckles for hooking his boy up.
Yo, he sounds like
Yeah,
Somebody
I don't
that
have
would
it
be-
hooked up yet,
he
but
sounds like a hitman for
it's
the
in the
mob.
car. It's in the car, baby. I got to get some
What's his name? Howard
audio
Knuckles?
something adapter so I can hook it to my laptop and shit.
What's his name? Howard Knuckles?
Yeah, well, it's in a suitcase like that. I swear to
Yeah,
God.
yeah. He sounds
Opened
like
up,
the
I
kind
didn't
of
know what
dude
the
you don't
fuck
want
was
to meet
going
in
to
a
be in
dark
that
alley.
bitch.
Yeah, Howard Knuckle.
What you know
You
about
know-
the
Yeah,
mob
right?
anyway?
You know, he's one of us.
Yeah, listen, if you don't send the money over, I'll send Howard Knuckles over to pay you a visit.
That's right.
You don't want Howard
Yeah.
Knuckles to come over because Jimmy the Tooth, he came over.
I didn't
and now
even
you got
know what the
Howard
fuck
Tooth,
you guys
bro.
were talking about. Dude, you know it's even crazier, Jason.
What?
He's losing it.
You know, it's even crazier. He was in the Navy with me. Like we lived together. Like we.
Oh Lord, we lost him now. You get your shit together, man.
Yo, he was lagging the whole time, bro.
Yeah. He had last week. I don't know if you listened last week. His son had moved the Wi-Fi in the house, so he wasn't getting strong signal. Oh, is he back? Gee,
Yeah.
get your Wi-Fi shit together.
I'm getting all new internet coming up. I gotta get this shit fixed. My kids are fucking streaming. It's fucking terrible. You guys, every time you talk, I have to wait for you to listen and answer. But anyways, what the fuck was I saying?
You were talking about Howard Knuckles, how he was in the Navy.
Oh yeah. So he was in the Navy. So you know what was on his shirt? Everything that he wore just said Knuckles. Knuckles. Everything. You know what I'm talking about. He was in the Navy too, by the way. And everything you wear, your underwear, your motherfucker, everything says Knuckles, says your last name on it. So he's like, I would talk about him and motherfuckers be like, I don't know if I want him over, man. I'm like, nah, he's cool as shit, man. He's cool as shit. And he walks in, he's like a skinny little white dude. Wouldn't hurt a fly. It's hilarious. It's like calling people with no hair curly. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
yo, you're talking about getting like better Wi-Fi and internet shit. You really just, I mean, you paying for nothing, to be honest. I mean, you're probably at the highest level, and they're just trying to get you for more money, telling you it's just going to be faster, and it's not.
Oh, listen, let me tell you something, dog. My boy DJ Mark J, East End's favorite DJ, J. He does podcasting and stuff, and he's my Comcast guy. And don't worry about it. He's gonna fucking take care of me, dog. Right. And he's a fucking sponsor of the podcast. No, I'm telling you, I wouldn't. I know what you're saying. I wouldn't do it without him. That's for sure. But he's looked up my address and shit and what I'm paying and what I'm getting. He's like, oh, I don't even know how you even podcast from your house. He's like, your shit is terrible. He's he gonna hook me up. Maybe I shouldn't say that.
Yeah, probably not.
Hey, don't worry about 0 viewers right now.
Is there anybody watching right now, yo?
At least it goes up. It's like it goes between 4 or 5 sometimes throughout the show, but it's all about the replay. Trust me, it's all about the replay. Well, that's what you're saying at the open. Nobody wants to come and look at us. The fuck they want to talk to us for? I wouldn't come in this bitch either. I just wouldn't. We don't even. We're gun decking this bitch tonight. He don't know what that means, but he knows what that means because we don't have no topic. We ain't do shit research, nothing. We're like, we'll just pull out our phones and go live. So that's what we're gonna do. And you got us, and you're with us now, buddy. So
shit. Oh,
how about this shit? Is this real? True or false section? True or false? This is our what's it called? Our little bit, right?
Hold on.
Roast it or post it.
That's
what that is I'm gonna read something from my friend, one of my friends. It could be you. I'm just gonna read a post or a meme. We like to get memes. Memes are a little bit better, but you can do it with stuff. And then we either agree that it's true and you should post it, or it's funny and you should post it. It's fine and dandy, you should post it, or we roast that shit because it's so ridiculous. So the segment's called Roast It or Repost It. Repost it. All right. First off, here we go. This is the headline. Disney Plus, a streaming service, removes Peter Pan, Dumbo, and other movies for showing offensive stereotypes. And I looked at this real quick. I want you guys, at least for the 2 that they named, Peter Pan and Dumbo, who are the offensives? What would that be called? The person that's offended? Offensees. I made that word up just right there. Mm-hmm. Just like that.
Who are the offended parties?
The offended? Who are the offended?
There you go.
Who did they offend? Yeah, who did they offend? Okay. All right. Peter Pan's probably pretty easy. But go ahead, Scott. Peter Pan. Who do you think they offended?
Oh, I don't know in Peter Pan. I don't.
Really?
I mean, I don't think that there's any. I don't know. I mean, I don't remember last time I saw that movie or whatever. So I can't.
Whatever. It came
seriously,
out when you were in.
But the Dumbo one is sticking out to me. But let's
Okay, go Dumbo. You get Dumbo, and he'll take Peter Pan. You take Dumbo. Go.
Aren't there some magpies or something in Dumbo? Are they supposed to be like minstrel type, black minstrel type caricatures? I don't know. That's my guess. I don't remember Dumbo very well either, but I think there's.
I was gonna say I don't think I looked that deep into Dumbo.
Me neither.
Well, I didn't.
Matter of fact, I'm not even gonna lie to you. I'm not even sure I know what a magpie is.
I was gonna ask you that. I did actually gonna say what's a magpie.
Magpie or some kind of bird, blackbird or something like that. But that's again. I mean, we're digging way into the vaults here, decades since I've seen that. So that's the best I can remember.
Oh, really? All right.
So did you look it up? What is it?
No, I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't care. No, I want to know who cares? Really? That's a different podcast, Friday nights at 8:00. But who really, that's what I'm saying. That's the whole point. It's like, all right, so for me, the first thing I thought of with Dumbo is that fat bitches. Like someone that's fat, overweight, elephant. Or somebody with big ears. But I don't know who the offended. If you can't identify the actual party that's offended, then how can there be offense?
Well, let's be fair though. I don't really remember the movie, so
yeah. So I'll click on it while we get Jason's reason why he thinks Peter Pan got pulled.
I was actually trying to research it right now. I don't know. I mean, is it possible the LGBTQ community?
Absolutely, that's what I think. I mean, his best friend's Tinkerbell.
No, but I think it went the other way. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if shit got that convoluted, but it went the other way. I mean, it was like you called people Tinkerbell. Tinkerbell wasn't originally a thing about.
Wrong podcast, Mickey. Friday night, 8:00 is Who Cares podcast. This is Let's Talk About. If you ain't got nothing to talk about, get the fuck out of my comment section. Go ahead, Scott.
All right, I got something up here on this. Here's
on Dumbo.
Disney has said about each of these movies.
Here we go. Now we're getting deep, baby.
Dumbo from 1941. The Crows, not magpies, the Crows and musical number pay homage to racist minstrel shows, where white performers with blackened faces and tattered clothing imitated and ridiculed enslaved Africans on southern plantations. So I managed to drag that one out of the vault.
Damn, you were 100% right, except fucking magpie. I don't know what the fuck that is.
Yeah, I've never heard that shit ever.
I think he made that shit up.
Magpie is a fucking bird, man.
A blackbird. Right. It's a crow.
Peter Pan said, go ahead.
No, go ahead. I know what it is. Go ahead. Peter Pan.
Film portrays native people in a stereotypical manner that reflects neither diversity of native peoples nor their authentic cultural traditions. Oh,
yeah. The girlfriend. She was a Native American woman.
It shows them speaking in an unintelligible language and repeatedly refers to them as redskins. How about that shit?
Really? Yeah. Me either. We should watch that. Oh, we can't. They just pulled
I don't remember some girlfriend and some native people. I don't remember that.
You don't remember man, maybe I'm thinking of Pocahontas. Different cartoon.
Yeah, there's a couple more.
But is it?
What it says here is they pulled it from their offerings for children under 7. So if you have an adult Disney Plus profile, you can still watch these things.
Oh, okay. Seems fair.
I mean, I'm sure somebody on Fox News will start screaming about it being canceled. But
yep. Well, that's what I'm saying.
Again, nobody's been canceled. You just can't. You can watch it with your kids. They just can't watch it by themselves. You got to log them in. Do whatever you want.
Listen, if we're going to talk about it, then we might as well just talk about it. Everybody's looking for something to be offended about nowadays.
Oh, for sure.
If we're just going to talk about it, let's just be real about it. Every time you turn around, if you disagree with someone's viewpoint, then you're going to be labeled as a racist or you're going to be labeled as a traitor. So let's just be real.
That's what we're always saying. Like we create people
if you
people
don't
create
support
people.
someone's narrative, mainly somebody who's a liberal, then you're going to be ostracized. Instead of saying, hey, we have a difference of opinion and we'll agree to disagree, we're just going to throw it out there. Hey, we're going to blanket everybody as a racist since you don't agree with what the fuck I'm saying.
Well, here's it. All right. And you're not wrong. There's a lot of reactionaries and overreactionaries on the left for sure.
I think it's getting out of control.
The thing
Big
that
time.
I guess, and because I am on the left, one of the things that bothers me though is something I was kind of making fun about the Fox News thing. When I was saying somebody will say they're canceled. Well, I mean, nobody tried to cancel this. This seems like just like with Dr. Seuss, it was just a decision that the owners of this content decided to make on their own. Nobody was like picketing them or
But
or
they may have done it as preventative
They just said,
maintenance
hey,
before.
we own this stuff and we see that this could be problematic. So let's make some changes. Let's not publish these books. Let's not, because we're not in the business of offending people. It wasn't, I think that's the problem that I have right now with the right, is that reactionary stuff where nobody's tried to make any cancellations. These people have just exercised their free right to, how they decide to share their content, whether it's deciding not to publish some books because they don't feel like it's representative of who they want to be,
Yeah.
or that Disney is saying, hey, maybe we think that this is not that the kids under 7 should have free access to this. We're not taking it away, but we just think that it should be parents should be aware that if they want to watch this, they're going to have to, know what's in it. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. That's not cancellation.
I'm not saying it's cancellation, and there may not be something wrong with it per se, but there is something wrong with forcing your agenda and your narrative on other people. There is something wrong with that. And when I say that, I mean, we're in 2021. Years prior to this was never brought up. This was never talked about. This was never a quote unquote topic of discussion. This was never a problem. And now all of a sudden we're in this era where there's this whole movement, and it's like, listen, we have to be proactive to head this off and take things out of our content, and because it possibly might offend someone of color. Because
or not of just color either. It's everything
or not
now.
of color, because if we don't take this out, then what's going to happen is now we're going to lose so much money because they're going to boycott us. They're going to picket us. They're going to say this. They're going to say that. And now our stock is going to drop. And now we're going to lose money. And now we're going to have to fire people. And now we're going to have to, no more CEOs, no more CFOs. It's a domino effect. And once again, all this was never brought up before, but now all of a sudden it's like, that kind of might offend someone. Let's get that out of here.
So
it's definitely more of being careful for sure.
It's not about being careful. I'm saying
people are doing it to be careful. Like, maybe like you said, being proactive of some shit that might offend somebody that we've been dealing with for years. But at the other, and I see the other side too. It's like you'll see people like, well, you guys voted for Biden. He canceled Dr. Seuss, and he didn't. Had nothing to do with him or his administration or anybody or Congress or anybody. But yet it goes all the way to that. The president did this. People are doing it, and maybe we are changing as a culture, but I see both sides. It's just I'm so sick. I don't even know anymore. Like I'll see stuff like, oh, now it's this one. I don't even know why. I don't even understand the why.
I got a couple of things to add there. Also, perspectives on this. Number one, what could be more free market than companies making their own decisions about what is going to make them more money? That's exactly what it is. They're making a calculation, making a risk assessment on their business, and say, okay, maybe we should pull this, and that way we'll continue to make lots of money. If we don't pull these 6 books, then something bigger does happen, and Dr. Seuss is gone as a whole. I guess you're trying to say.
Yes.
Because there was only like 6 books. Line.
But
Definitely a business decision.
they're exercising their right to do what they want with their own stuff, and that's that's their right to do that. And it is driven by money. I mean, let's not
Everything is.
let's not say that there's altruism behind this. Yeah, but I mean, I would kind of prefer it if it were altruism in a way. But on the other hand, if they're making it about if it's all about money, then I mean, what's the problem with that? Again, people have a right to do what they want to with their companies to make money, right? As long as
exactly.
It's not. So,
exactly.
Now, here's another point that I did want to bring up, and I brought this up to somebody else once. Cancel culture is not new. This is nothing. There's absolutely nothing new about this. And here's another way to look at it too: is boycotts. What's more of a cancellation than a boycott? And boycotts have a long history of being drivers of social change. So, and it's basically the same thing. You're saying we're not going to do business with this particular company. There were the was it Montgomery, Alabama, where they had the bus boycotts that drove the civil rights. Yeah. So we're not really. I'm not necessarily comparing the two. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying.
Yeah, because it's a little different. It's like you said. Are they canceled? Everybody's talking shit on them for social media for about a month. But stock goes up, stock goes down. Most of the time, whoever's canceled, besides the people that that's what I'm saying. Like, is that what's that famous Hollywood director that was just sleeping with everybody? Weinstein?
Yes.
Yeah.
Harvey Weinstein.
Like Harvey Weinstein got.
Let's clarify that.
But people be like, exactly. He got canceled. No, he didn't, bitch. He going to prison. That's not the same as Jif Peanut Butter getting canceled because someone got pissed off on the internet and made a fucking meme and it goes crazy on Twitter and they're canceled for the week. I'm talking about like that you said, it's been going on forever. Just tell me one thing that got canceled in the 80s when you were a kid.
No, I mean, the point I'm trying to make here is
Archie fucking Bunker didn't even get canceled, bro.
The flip side
I think a lot of it is social media.
Right, hold on.
227.
The point I'm trying to make is that you can say cancel culture is bad and all that stuff, but it's still adjacent to it's how people if you cancel if you're canceling a company or a person or something like that because you don't like their products,
our choice.
The only difference between now and decades ago when boycotts were happening is that it moves a lot more quickly. But that's also that's an individual's right to complain about their right to free speech, to complain about something they don't like, and it's their right to not spend their money with those folks. So I mean, again,
let's pretend.
Let's play about free market. We're talking about things that existed before. What we're talking about mainly is a change in terminology and the speed at which things get canceled.
Yeah.
Again, I'm mostly talking about companies now, not individuals.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's a shout out to June Hardenberg. What's up? That's my mom. Without her, I wouldn't be here, and neither would neither of you two. There she go. There she go. What's up? What's up? What I was gonna say is, it's like this. I don't know about Jason, but where I came from, like when I was growing up with my friends in the hood, in our neighborhood, it was on, like race jokes, everything. Just clowning people, right?
Yeah.
Like literally, me and him can do. Like, if say this podcast had more than 2 viewers, right, and we were like a legit monetized, people were sponsors and stuff. And me and him did the same thing. Him and I did the same thing that we did when we were 9 and 10 years old on here as like an old school joke. Let's take it back to the 80s. It started with your mama jokes. All of a sudden it got racial. Everybody's laughing, having a good time. I'm canceled. Yes. But in 1984, I'm not. It's definitely a different time is what I think Jason's trying to say.
Yes, and I think people are more so apt to get offended with what's being said. I feel like people are that much more in their feelings before you be able to joke and laugh with anyone like about
Well, there's
anything.
definitely a spectrum. There's a spectrum.
Oh, there's a big
of
spectrum.
feelings.
There's a big spectrum.
Because
in this generation,
we were talking about this a couple podcasts ago. I tell me anything you want right now. You will not offend me. And then Matt was on. He was like, "Oh, that old gag that I can't be offended." I'm seriously don't know what you could tell me to be offended. But then I know a certain person, a friend of mine, a very close friend of mine, and it's like every little thing. So obviously there's a spectrum for everything else. I think there's a spectrum for people that get offended.
Yes.
You agree,
Yes.
Scott?
I agree. Here's another thing to think about. This type of offense, this culture is a luxury. This is these offenses are the things that happen when people have it too easy. This so I know. All right, hold on. And listen, I have it too easy too. What I'm saying, as a society, we're victims.
No,
of
I
our
believe you. We talked about it before. People from New York are usually not nice fucking people because
I
they
don't mean
deal
that.
with fucking snow and shit like that, and it's a fucking nightmare. And it's a.
I mean,
you're not
as
talking about physical.
as a country,
Mental?
we're victims of our own success. We have the luxury of time and energy to devote to things like that. And I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm just saying that from a historical.
And we can go to McDonald's and order our food, right?
What?
Like third world countries can't just go to McDonald's and get food,
Well,
right? We
yeah.
just go up to the window, say, "Make my fucking food for me." We eat it, we go on instead of hunting it or finding it. You know.
And I'm not saying, again, I'm not trying to say that's right or wrong, but it's just an interesting thing to think about is that we've, as a society, have achieved a measure of financial success as a whole that we have the time and energy to devote.
Yeah, we are pretty badass.
Whether or not Tinkerbell is offensive. So,
like we should be worried about other things.
Yeah. What's that?
Like we should be worried about other things more.
I'm not saying we should be worried. I mean, look at it this way. I mean, the flip side of that coin is you have to have a measure of financial success in order to get to that point. So, I mean, it's just part and parcel of that success, and that progress as a society.
Yeah, but aren't you a communist?
No.
Called you a communist.
Yeah, I'm an Antifa communist.
See, he keeps throwing that society shit in. He's a communist, bro. Don't listen.
You know what it is I've been reading of quite a bit of philosophy lately, so I just try to shoehorn it into everything.
Oh yeah, we had I forgot to tell you that. Reminds me, we had an email. We have a email that you can get a hold of us at Let's Talk About It podcast 2020@gmail.com. And people have sent email questions about Scott.
Really?
I forgot to tell you that.
What are they saying?
They say one of them said, hold on. One of them said, Scott seems to say, I read about it. We were just wondering if Scott could give us 3 places he might read about it. So, like, what's your go-to, I guess? You're always saying you read, but you're never telling anybody what you read, I guess.
I mean, I read a lot of stuff on the internet. I read news. I read anything that interests me. I read books, magazines.
Not certain websites or
yeah.
You have a go-to.
So no, not specifically. I mean, I have so if I want to look at the news, I go to Google News. Now, what I typically see on Google News is probably Washington Post more than anything else, which of course, people are gonna say is left wing, whatever. I think they're fairly balanced, but whatever. I'll read Wall Street Journal occasionally, even though that's right wing, but it doesn't mean that their journalism is necessarily bad either. New York Times occasionally, Politico. I'll read Salon, but that's not that's far left. It's really biased. Politico's not too bad. The Hill, Business Insider. I mean, those are some of the
Damn,
ones.
you read too much. That's too much. That's too much.
He said you read too much.
God damn. Just name every fucking website on the internet. Why don't you?
I'm just saying what comes across my news feed. That's some of the sources. So
I read Yahoo News. I read MSNBC. He's just like, I'm not making fun of you. I'm just saying, he's like, can you name everything else on the internet? What don't you read? Do you go through the Encyclopedia Britannica?
No, I'll look shit up on Wikipedia and whatnot. Sure, why not? I'm a curious person. I'm an exceptionally curious person, Jason. And
No, I agree.
I have read. I don't remember not knowing how to read. I started before kindergarten, and it's just been a love of my life. And
Oh Jesus!
I'm not trying to. I'm sorry. That sounded a little sexist. I don't mean it that way. I'm just saying.
I was reading at a 7th grade level at 4 years old. My name is Scott Hicks.
So
I
crazy.
come from royal blood.
It's
From
crazy.
King William.
You know my family.
I'm from King William County, and yes, King William was my great grandfather. So I'm getting a lot of gas and food prices, and something else went up. Insulin, is this true? Hold on a second.
I have
Is
no
this
idea.
true?
About the whole.
I mean,
thing.
if you want to talk about, the
Hold on, this is
aspect of
our
everything.
we have a live mail-in emailer, and she has a couple questions for both of you.
For all my leftist friends, what's been your favorite part of the new presidency so far? Is it the spike in gas prices? Is it the spike in insulin prices? Is it the absolute destruction of women's sports? Could it be the bombs dropped in Syria? Could it be the lack of addressing the country? Could it be the cancellation of the pipeline and the 52,000 jobs that went with it? Could it be the illegal immigrants coming into the country without COVID tests? Maybe the possibility that Americans will have travel restrictions but not illegal immigrants? Is it the wokeism?
The wokeism? Is
All right.
it though?
So I think that's most of that. You've played it for me before, but I don't know. Jason, did you see any of that?
That was the first time I actually saw that TikTok.
Oh, but okay. It was frozen on my screen. I just wanted to know.
Yeah, I saw all that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So I don't know.
that's a lot. That's a lot of things that I'm getting. Gas, food, and prices got me like, and it's like a Batman signal, but it's Trump's profile. Like, do you miss me yet? Kind of shit. And the gas prices, like, I don't know if people really think that there's a switch on the side of the Oval Office where it's like, you know what, gas prices up, gas prices down, but. Like I brought up earlier, the shit is definitely happening, and I know we're going into summer, but I could bring up that chart right now that I looked at in the next 4 months of last year, under $1.50. So I mean, what really is going on? Is it policy? Because nothing new's been passed, right? Congress don't do shit, so it's not like what happened.
I'll tell you.
Was it the pipeline? Because you said we wouldn't be affected by that pipeline.
No, it wasn't the pipeline. All right, that's what they think. That's what people who post that think. It was the pipeline. First of all, the pipeline wasn't even open, so there's not.
It couldn't have affected it that fast. Yeah.
Although somebody said on this thing, hang on, I'm trying to find. I'm trying to find this thing. They said gas is up because the pipeline was shut down.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. That's a lot I'm getting sent to me.
Right, but anyway, all right. So, gas prices are based on oil prices. Oil prices is a global market. Doesn't have much of anything to do with what we're producing here in the United States overall, because we're not producing all that much, comparatively speaking. So, if the price of oil goes up in the world, the price of our gas goes up. Now, what can make the price of oil go up? OPEC, which is essentially, they handle about 60%, I think, of all the oil production in the world. So if they decide that they want to pull back on production, which they did in January, then the price of oil goes up. There's a million other little things too.
Yeah,
Why-
but they is OPEC,
Yeah.
not any administration. Even like,
No.
of course, everybody's like, look, Trump made the gas prices what they are. Why would you not reelect them? You know, like that looks true right now.
They are. So you know why? You know why gas prices bottomed out last year? Because nobody was traveling. Because the
They
world
said they had to keep discounting the barrels or
slows to
something.
a crawl. And when the world economy slows to a crawl, the industrial use of oil is way down. When the industrial use of oil is down, then you have a surplus of oil, and
Supply and demand.
surplus of oil, it gets cheap. What happens when it gets cheap? Gas gets cheap. So part of the reason that the gas prices are going up right now is because we have vaccines going on all over the world, and they're betting on a rebound to the world economy, which means they're going to need more oil for production. And that's part of the reason that prices have gone up. There's also,
Yeah.
you know, one of the things doesn't have to do with the price of oil that has an effect on gas is the number of refineries and how they're operating in the United States. Whenever you have a big ass hurricane that hits the Gulf, you're going to see gas prices go up because that's where several refineries are. And there aren't that many. We don't have enough refineries in this country as it is. So they start messing with, if the refineries go down or, shipping from those refineries is affected by weather, like, I don't know, a surprise ice storm in Texas,
Yeah,
these
that's
things
true.
have an effect.
That was a joke, bro. That was a
That's
big joke.
That shit's crazy.
But anyway,
But I don't
So
want to stay on oil and fucking gas because we'll fucking lose our 4 viewers that we have right
the
now.
thing is it's complicated, and people like the.
That's my point. It's
Yeah.
not a flip of a switch because Biden's having a bad day or
Right.
Trump's having a good day or Trump's having a bad day. I'm gonna fuck these guys on oil today. Like it would be crazy if that was the case.
It does not work like
But
that.
let's circle back around. So we found out that it wasn't Tinkerbell, but it was the Native American that was being mistreated in Peter Pan is the reason, right?
Yeah.
And did either of you watch the Grammys? Which
No,
I really hope
I-
not, because
I
fucking
did not watch that. I was
punch
not.
yourself.
no.
You could punch yourself in the fucking face. It was
Nope.
awful. But I saw, obviously you guys probably heard the Candace Owens and Cardi B thing on Twitter. But that's my point. So that Peter Pan either got canceled because of Tinkerbell or because of that little girl in there, and them motherfuckers dancing to some wet ass pussy on a stage at the
Facts.
Grammy Awards,
Facts.
putting each other's vaginas in each other's faces, bro.
Facts.
Like, how's that not canceled? You want to talk about, oh, well, your kid should have to log on and password protect to watch that shit on fucking Disney Plus and on national television on free cable. You got them two girls on the stage at the Grammys literally twerking in each other's faces.
Yep. And that's acceptable.
That's ridiculous.
I don't
That's
know,
acceptable.
And they want to cancel Peter Pan.
but somebody.
That's the part I don't understand. Peter Pan gets canceled, and that happens the next day at 8:00 on the Grammys on stage. Like, I can't explain that.
Exactly.
Can
Because
you?
it does not fit the narrative.
Nope, because it made a lot of money, and she got #1 fucking rap album, and it's the Grammys, and they do everything by fucking money, so they got to put whoever wins on stage. I think we see it every now and then at the Grammys. We see somebody on stage like, what the fuck they doing performing at the Grammys? Because they had the #1 fucking song. It's all about money wherever you look.
Mm-hmm.
Follow the money. And these fucking communists, we got to go communist, bro.
Oh,
This capitalism isn't working out. I'm just kidding.
This guy is crazy.
It's the best economy right now ever. It's banging right now.
what? Who's? All
I
right,
don't
we
know
got
how, because people are hungry, but it's banging.
Well, it's to me, it's ridiculous. Like you said, how we're canceling Peter Pan and things like that, and Dumbo and stuff, but we're okay with people.
The number one record in America, Wet Ass Pussy. That's the name of the song.
Yep. We're okay with talking about that.
Have
We're
you
okay
seen it,
with-
Scott?
we're okay
Everybody
with
should see the video at least once in their life as a man. I'm not gonna lie.
Crazy. Yo, don't even waste your time, bro. Don't waste
But
your time.
you're gonna have
Don't
your
worry,
kids
It's not my
sitting
thing.
in the living room. Yeah, he's a Led Zeppelin fan. He definitely ain't listening to no goddamn Cardi B. Oh, he ain't listening to no goddamn Cardi B, boy.
Well, I've heard
Yeah.
it once, but I mean, it wasn't. I think I got other issues with it. I just don't think it's very good.
What? Wet ass pussy?
You don't like Wet Ass Pussy?
The song.
Well, it's not. It's not about. I mean, the song in itself. I mean, yeah, we get it, but
No, we
it shouldn't
don't.
be acceptable to watch something like that on primetime TV on a Grammy show. Yes, over the years we've evolved.
During a
and-
cancel culture is what my
Yeah.
point is.
yeah, over the years we've evolved and we've made some changes and we've accepted some things and put some things to the wayside. But to sit there and we're canceling Dumbo because that in itself is racially charged and we don't want to lose money, but we're okay with putting somebody on the stage and
Because they don't want to lose money.
Here's-
yeah,
here's
but
the
they
question.
did lose money because a lot of people didn't watch it. Just like
So-
the NBA lost money this past season because nobody was watching them fucking bums. Just like fucking NFL lost money because nobody's watching them fucking bums.
I was
Just like
watching.
MLB.
See, that's what I disagree with. Like,
just
I don't
saying.
give a fuck. I serve my country. You can
100%.
say what you want about motherfucking Colin Kaepernick. I'm a football fan. I'm a sports fan. I can't be. What's up, Kobe and Lanier Senior? That's my guy, right there. What's up? What was I saying? I see fucking.
You said you was watching.
Squirrels. Oh yeah. I'm not. Like Mike Heiser was like, I'm fucking boycotting NFL. I'm like, fuck you. They could literally come to my house and do something to me, and I'm tuning in on Sunday. Like, you can't offend me enough. And then it's like, I look at it the other way. Why? Because the back of his jersey says, "What's her name?" Like, that's gonna stop you from watching a basketball game, and then you're not a basketball fan. To me,
I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that.
Well, that's how I feel. God dang it.
That's cool.
It's like,
That's cool. I don't agree
you know,
with just
I could deal with. I don't even see it. The BLM on the side. I'm watching the ball. I'm watching the game. Like, I don't know.
okay. But
I don't watch
I
the
don't
press
agree with that.
conferences. I know they use the press conferences to reach out and, like you said, get out their agenda and stuff. But I don't watch that part of it. Like, it's over. I'm going to bed. I'm not watching that other shit. So maybe that's why it doesn't
that's
bother
the way
me.
that's the way you handle it. But there are people out there who, like, I didn't watch the NFL this past season because I didn't agree with what they were saying. That's not that's not the platform for you to do and get your message across.
Even
That
if
is
it's
not
their
the
own,
platform.
even if it's their only platform, like that's
No, it's not their only platform.
Well, that's their top
I
platform.
disagree.
No, it's not. No, it's not. It's not because they are quote unquote
It's on
superstars.
TV. It's on
But
TV.
that's not the point. That's not the point. We live in an age of social media. Okay, your platform is right in the palm of your hand. That's your platform.
Yeah, one of them. But I mean, on national television with everybody watching that might not have a phone that's hooked up to your Instagram,
Nah,
it's their biggest platform. Is that?
I don't agree with that because you can play the game, and we don't need to know about your personal views and beliefs. The game has nothing to do with that. The game literally has nothing to do with you as a person and your personal views and beliefs. You are there to play a game.
After the game.
Play the game. Do what you got to do.
Well, how about after the game then at the press conference?
No, you are still hired to do a job. You are not hired to go there and say.
All right,
what
so you come
say.
off the press conference stage and then you go right into the locker room and start your phone and say the same thing. You're cool with that?
Once again, no, that is your employer. That is your
When can he do it?
That is not your place. Go home. Do it in your car. Do it when you get home. Do a podcast like you're doing right here now. It is unnecessary to subject people to your narrative, to your views and your beliefs. That is not what you get paid for. That is not why we are watching sports.
So hold on.
Okay, hold on. No,
Yeah.
that's good. That's good. I gotta get some more. Hold on. I gotta get some more ice. I want to hear. I can still hear y'all. I want to hear Scott's reaction. I'll be right back.
Well, I mean, are you saying this is an employer-employee issue, or is it something else? I mean, because what you're saying is,
I'm saying it is you get paid to play a sport. You get paid to play football, basketball, baseball, soccer, whatever the case may be. That's
so
what you get paid for.
wait a minute. So essentially, let's just say let's go with the Kaepernick thing.
Mhm.
So he kneels. It's really the decision of his employer whether or not they're okay with that.
It can be the decision of the employer, but just like you said, how Disney Plus has the right to take things out and be proactive, viewers have the right to not watch sports. We have the right to feel.
I mean,
We
look,
have the right to feel the way we feel.
I guess
So
where
because
I'm
the employer doesn't act, that has no bearing. There are a lot of people who have served this country. I've served this country. You have every right to say what you need to say. I fought for this country. Listen, you kneeling, if that's what you want to do, do I agree with you kneeling and the national anthem playing? No, I don't. I'm just telling you straight up and down, I do not agree with that. No.
But I guess my thing is that, and you're right, people don't have to watch because if if they don't agree with it. But I mean, the way what you're saying is that they're getting paid to do a certain thing. If you're not the one paying them, then it's really on the employer to decide whether or not that's something they want them doing. Now, again, that employer is likely to make and has made those decisions based on what they think is better for their bottom line.
It just happened.
But I don't
Mark
think.
Cuban did it.
Yeah, I don't think that. But I don't think that it's. I don't think that that's a fair argument if the employer is okay with it. If the employer is fine, then I don't think it's a fair argument to say they shouldn't be doing that because they don't get paid.
But they pay the consequences for their actions if nobody buys tickets.
Right.
Exactly. But see, so my point is,
I mean,
you're talking about everything being based off the bottom line, but it's not just the bottom line. It also has to do with the culture and the society that we are in now as a country, as the whole world. If you are saying, if you're the owner and you're saying, I do not want my guys kneeling, you don't get paid to do this, you get paid to play a sport, you get paid to do this, that, and the third, or X, Y, and Z, you are going to get labeled as a racist. You are going to get labeled as a bigot. So you only have one recourse, and said recourse is to allow this to continue. If you buck the system, quote unquote, or if you show that you have a view or an opinion of what someone else is saying and they don't agree with that, they will then in turn go to the extreme, which is now I'm going to call you a racist. I'm not going to say I agree to disagree. I'm going to call you a racist because you are not supporting people of color and what they want to say. So you're telling me if Mark Cuban said, hey guys, go on TV, national TV, I do not want my guys to kneel. I do not want my guys to speak about X, Y, and Z. They are here to play a sport. You don't think that people are going to go out and say Mark Cuban's a racist? You don't think that's the first thing?
Well, it's actually opposite of what. Actually, it's opposite of what he did. He's not playing the national anthem at the games, and I wasn't even going to bring this up because I don't even know what the name of the song is, but apparently there's another song, another national anthem, a black national anthem. Does that sound right?
Yes.
And he plays that instead, and people are pissed that he stopped playing their national anthem. But again, owner, he's part of the NBA, so I guess they could mess with him, I guess, with the players union and shit. But for the most part, that's an owner that says this is what I'm going to do. And he's going to pay the consequences for his actions. People might not come back to the stadium because he did that. Right. But he did it. But he's the business owner and he's a fucking billionaire.
Yes, but once again, that was
where do we keep coming back to, though, boys? Where do we keep coming back to? Money.
Yeah.
Money.
And if you don't go along with someone's narrative, they will go to the extreme and they will assassinate your character. And what's the ultimate assassination of someone's character? To label them a racist or to label someone as a homophobe or something like that.
If
That
you're
is one
not
of
a
the.
racist, then what do you care?
If you say again,
If you're not a racist, then why would you care?
what's your argument? If you're not
Care
a
about
racist,
what?
why would you care about what?
That somebody would label you that. I mean,
Oh,
people,
like if,
No, that has no bearing. That doesn't mean anything. Because someone can literally label you a racist and call you a racist, and that will take off. It
yeah,
doesn't
through
matter
like a
whether-
small town like Mechanicsville, and you get that. I see what he's saying. I coach basketball, I coach football. Some people be like, I heard that coach is a racist, and then their kids don't want to play for me anymore. But real
Nobody.
quick, Brian McCartney, one of my bestest friends in the whole wide world, never been on the podcast. Happy St. Patty's Day to you and yours. He calls me TJ because that's what they do there. But he's from New York. Shout out to Brian McCartney on St. Patrick's Day.
Thank you, Brian, because labels matter. Labels
Exactly.
matter. This is correct. Labels do matter, whether
You
they're
can't
true or
play
not.
both. Why can't he
It's-
play both? Hold on, I'm trying to catch up on his comments. So he said, "Why can't he play both?" What was he talking about?
The national anthem and the Black national anthem.
Oh
That's what I
yeah,
mean.
he should play. Maybe he should play both. And then it says, no, not that yet. He said, "It turns out that if everything is based on money, people do terrible things to one another."
That is correct.
And because labels matter now, he's right. They definitely matter a lot more now. And because of social media, somebody can actually spread that shit out more than your uncle just saying that shit down the street. Sometimes
Exactly.
they are worth more than the truth. Brian's going to come on here. He's been telling me he's going to come on here. Maybe next week we'll get him on here. Brian's awesome. I can't wait to see you, bruh. But anyways, where were we? nice,
Well,
nice way to fuck up that conversation.
Solution, I can tell you that there was no solution yet.
Yeah.
No, there is no solution other than like people need to come together and actually sit down and have a conversation. The idea of someone not agreeing with your viewpoints does not sit well with a lot of people. And so because you don't agree with their viewpoints, they're going to label you as such, whatever they want to label you as. We live in a society where we should be able to agree to disagree, sit down and have a conversation like grown men, grown women. It's mind-blowing how we have advanced so much technologically, but as a society, we're just so like it's crazy. We can't sit down and have a conversation. We can't discuss things without someone saying, something so detrimental to someone's character or someone's person. It's just crazy. That's the way I see it.
Well, yeah, there's some hot button issues that make that very, very difficult. And sometimes those issues are exacerbated and exploded by the media.
Yeah.
But sometimes they are. I think that one of the challenges in today's society with talking with people is it's sometimes like, well, hey, that's just my opinion, but there are also things that are right and wrong, and I think we have a hard time defining those clearly for everyone. It's like, if some guy was walking through my neighborhood with white robes and a pointy white hat, assuming he wasn't the Pope, you could say, that it's not a matter of opinion that well, hey, I just think Jews are awful. I just think Jews have ruined the world, and I can tell you how they're running everything and blah 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 blah. But that's my opinion, so you should that should be valid enough for you. It's not. Sorry, you're wrong.
No, I don't agree with that. That's true. You're absolutely right.
That's
where the fine lines are, and I think it gets. That doesn't.
Yeah,
sound
but
like,
if you really get down to what they say, the crux of it, it is that dude's opinion, and he can feel that way. You don't have to be around him.
Let me put it another way. If this is a guy who's promoting along the same lines, saying a Holocaust denier, and he's putting all this shit out there,
got you.
information, stuff like that. That's not an opinion. You can't just say things that just aren't fucking.
Nobody's asking you what you think.
The point is that we think that all viewpoints are valid, and that's just not always the case. There are a lot of viewpoints that are valid. So, for example, as a guy who has a left-leaning sort of life philosophy.
Leaning? You laying down, motherfucker?
I can tell you where I disagree with thoughtful conservatives, and it is a difference of opinion. Where we disagree generally is in how much society should do for one another, whether that is a bigger benefit to society or if it is a bigger benefit of society for people to be self-sufficient, right? Those are bedrock viewpoints for the left and the right. And I personally 100% respect somebody who says, I think it is my opinion that it is better for society if people are more self-sufficient. I get that. I understand that. And that's okay if you can get down to that point with people. But the problem is that people don't even understand their own motivations. They don't understand why they believe the things they believe. And then, so when you have differences of opinions, what they're saying is, well, basically, I feel this way with no justification, and that's a problem. Sorry, I feel like I kind of went off there.
No, I see what you mean. I understand what you mean. Now, being the bedrock issues, yes, people should be more self-sufficient. I think people should be more self-sufficient. For others to help others, I mean, that's just natural human instinct. You see someone in need, you want to help them. That's natural human instinct. I don't think that's a left or right issue.
Well, some people want to help.
I don't know.
Okay, so let's say
most
that
people.
I'll say
both. I'll say both.
Yes, but I think most people genuinely want to help someone in need if they see that. But my thing is, if you need help, if you need assistance, totally understandable. But if you are a person who there's no reason why you can't be somewhat self-sufficient and self-reliant in certain issues, then I have a problem with that.
Well,
I have a problem with that.
I apologize because I didn't really want to take this down that road. I was just trying to.
This is what we do, dog. We talk about it.
I know, but I'm really not prepared to go down the road of left versus right on those things.
Yeah, no, I get it, but I was just going off what you said.
Really that you can have differences of opinion, even when you have very, very different. Your politics are very far apart. You can have differences of opinion on some things, and that makes sense. But there are things where it's just not a matter of opinion. You can be just fucking wrong about some shit, and you can't just say, "Well, it's my opinion," so that's because it's my opinion, it's valid. Wrong.
Okay. So
are you arguing something that can be proven, or are you arguing two people's opinions on something?
Well, that's the question. I mean, people think that hey, I have the right to my own facts. No, you don't. You have the right to your own opinions. You don't have the right to your own facts. And people.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You got to determine the difference there.
People conflate the two, and they're like, well, my viewpoint is valid. No, your viewpoint is fucking wrong. Sometimes your viewpoint is just fucking wrong because it's based on a fallacious argument or misinformation.
Yeah, but what's to be honest, what's the difference between someone's opinion and their facts being valid? They're their own facts. They're their own. So your own opinion. Your opinion is your opinion, and if you perceive something to be something in your mind and in your brain, that's a fact to you. People who are emotionally disturbed, if they're saying, "Oh my God, that lamp is trying to kill me," they believe that lamp is trying to kill them. It's a fact to them. It's not just an opinion.
It's not. It's not a fact to them. The lamp's not going to kill them. They think
it's not.
So their
in
opinion
reality, it's not,
is that lamp may kill them, but it's not a fact that the lamp will kill them.
I agree. But they perceive that to be in their mind that lamp is trying to kill them.
But what they don't have is an equal viewpoint. What they don't have is an equal opinion. They have an opinion that's based on wrong shit, and whether that's the wrong shit that because they're schizophrenic or whatever, they're still wrong. And it doesn't. I'm sorry that just because that is a viewpoint that they have doesn't mean that it's equal to other viewpoints. Just having an opinion does not make it the equal of other opinions.
Okay. Okay, I see what you mean.
Yeah, and listen, I can't. This I haven't given this enough thought to be able to come up with any sort of framework or be the arbiter of whose opinions are good or how you judge opinions and things like that. It's not, the fact of the matter is, though, I think we can go too far in one direction where we say, well, all viewpoints are valid, and I think that's dangerous. There are, again, without having a solution to it, and I just don't have one. I feel like I'm well informed enough to know that sometimes people are just fucking wrong. So
I agree. But the problem is that some people, they can't take being wrong. Some people can't take that.
A lot of
It's too much for them.
Yeah. And now, I mean, we can get into the whole psychology of that. That's gee.
I hate being wrong.
I'll admit it. You're wrong all the time.
I'll admit it when I am wrong, but I hate when I am wrong.
Yeah, but there's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with hating being wrong. No one wants to be wrong. No one. I don't think anybody wakes up and say, "Hey, I love to be wrong fucking today." No, I don't see that happening. But at the same time, you can accept when you are wrong. Correct?
Oh yeah. Once I know I'm wrong, then yeah, I'll be like, yeah, I was wrong.
There you go.
Yeah.
But I don't think you're gonna have to show me I'm wrong. I'm not gonna take your opinion that I'm wrong. You gotta show me that 2 + 2 = 4. You know what
exactly. You gotta show me that 2 + 2 = 4.
And that's what Brian just did.
I'll concede that one. That's not one of those geometrical theorems that you got to prove. I'll concede that 2 + 2 = 4.
Yeah, I hope so. Because if not, then
and that's this is a societal issue, and it's not just our society either. Nobody wants to be wrong, but it's whether or not you're enlightened enough to be able to accept it, and that's the challenge.
Mm-hmm.
It can be, if you're not enlightened enough, then you're talking about ego damage, and people's egos are fragile. I mean, that's just the case. So you got to be able to somehow learn that. Okay, you to have your ego strong enough to say, I was wrong, to admit that you were wrong.
Oh, it's hard. It's hard.
Open to accepting that fact that you were wrong and being able to admit that you were wrong. And humans are fallible.
I think it depends. Yeah, but again, I'll go with the spectrum. If you were wrong because you took a left turn the wrong way and now you got to go a block around is one thing. But if you were wrong and you cost your fucking family your job, a little bit different wrong. That's a little harder.
The severity of those situations. Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
Brian. All right, I'm going to disagree with you here. This last one.
That one, it's actually only true because everyone agrees that it is. No,
I don't agree. I don't agree with him on that. I'm sorry, Brian. I think you're wrong on that. I think when it comes to math exists independent of human agreement.
Well, it doesn't have to be. Yeah, as I'm saying, there's a whole different thing of facts and numbers and scientific evidence versus fucking opinion for sure, right? Like they're almost the polar opposites, right? This is what I think, and this is what I know. It's like
yes, but just like math is independent of itself.
Shout out to Brian.
Just like math is independent of itself, and you don't like 2 + 2 = 4. Yes, in regards to gender, a male is a male and a female is a female.
Oh shit, we're gonna have a whole nother podcast on this shit. We already an hour in. This motherfucker just brought it up.
I mean, are we not? Are can we agree on that?
Let me tell you.
Biologically,
let me tell you that I don't know enough. Now I'm going to say this is just like I said. I read this thing. I read something a while back where, I mean, let me ask you, what makes one gender and one gender the other gender? What makes a man and a woman a woman? Is it genitalia?
Biologically speaking, I would assume the genitalia, the reproductive system, and things of that nature, the stuff like that.
DNA, period.
But there's, where it gets a little weird is, and again, I'm going to be perfectly honest with you. My disclaimer here is that I don't know enough about this. I I haven't studied it. I haven't looked into it, but I did read an interesting article. It's been a couple of years ago. I want to say maybe New York Times, if somebody needs to know. And they talked about how I remember one very specific instance of a woman who they did some sort of genetic test for her to be in the Olympics or something like this. I wish I could remember all the details of it. And it turns out that she wasn't a woman. She had all of the appearance of a woman, all of the genitalia, all of the features, all of that. But what is it? 2 X chromosomes? Is that what makes a man? Is an XY as a woman? I can't.
I'm not even gonna lie to you. I was terrible at
I think it's pretty clear though. Yeah, it's like XY and XZ chromosome.
No, there's no Z. There's no Z.
It's 2 X's or XY. Anyway, she
what do I know?
Anatomically, I guess, if that's a word, male, but to all outward appearance and through all her everything that her reproductive system or whatever. I don't know whether she was infertile or whatnot, but to everything else,
you're saying let me see if I'm following you. She had breasts, she had a vagina, she had a reproductive system of a woman, but her chromosome was XX.
She was disallowed, right, from competing as a woman, and had not ever known this. This wasn't anything she was trying to hide. This was, So I think. All I'm saying, I guess the only point male chromosome or per cannabis. Okay. Thanks, Brian. I appreciate that. All I can say here really is I don't know enough to make a judgment call on that one way.
I do. I don't know shit, and I can make a judgment call on it. That I think that is a rare circumstance, and that shit happens. People are born with 3 fucking feet too. But I think if you have, like he said, I think if you have the reproduction and the genitalia, and of course if you have the chromosome, then there's no brainer, right?
I think it's a no brainer. But now, growing up, kids, there are kids out there like, I identify as a female if they were born a male. I totally understand that. If that's how you feel, that's fine. But you were born a man and you feel as if you are a woman inside. So if you want to change everything and you want to go through hormone therapy, by all means, that's your own personal opinion. I don't judge anybody for that.
Right.
But do not sit here and say that you are a woman now because you have gone through those steps and stuff. You are originally and biologically speaking, a man.
Well, that's what we were talking about on the other podcast, right, Scott? I have a situation of a place I used to work at where there's a fluid gender, meaning whatever he feels like or she feels like that morning, that's what he is. That's what he dresses as. Sometimes he's in the men's locker room. Sometimes he's in the women's locker room, depending on what he's wearing. I have a problem with that.
I do have a problem with that as well.
I have a problem with that. However, if he wants to go through with this, like you said, reconstruct it, become a woman, do all that good stuff, I will call him a woman. We'll call her a woman, right? Yep. But the changing thing, like, come on. Like, genders don't change, right? We may sit here and argue that this gender is closer to this gender on the spectrum, or this one is this one, and this one means this. But we know that they don't change daily, right? We could probably, all 3 of us could probably agree with that.
I agree.
Yes, I don't know.
Not that your mindset don't change and you think you're something else.
Yeah. I mean,
but your actual gender is not fluid, right?
Biologically speaking, right. It shouldn't. It's not going to change. Biologically speaking, your gender is not going to change. Whether or not you have a psychological shift from day to day, and how you, like you were saying, Jason, if somebody feels like they're trapped in the wrong body, I don't really know. That's not something I've really.
I have no experience in that part for sure.
But yeah, I know biologically you're not going to change from day to day, but you're sure. I guess you're how you feel, whether or not you're a man or woman.
It's just the pronoun. It's the pronoun thing for me. It's like I have a friend that's like really into that type of community and very up to date on all that stuff. Because now it's like LBQT. There's like 6 more, and I always get it wrong. And he's like, man, you really need to learn that. And I'm like, do I? It's constantly changing. So you're blaming me. So I asked him, I said, I don't even know. Do I ask a person a pronoun? If I'm not sure if it's a he or she, should I say that? Is that offensive? I don't know. Like, I don't know the rules to the game is what I'm saying. It's like, I really don't know what to say. So I it's like this. We talked about this before. Is a man that trans into a woman a trans woman? Because it's do I address them as a trans woman because they transitioned into a woman, or is it opposite? I don't even know the nomenclature, and apparently there's Z and Zer and like I don't know. Not inconvenience, because I'm not saying I'm inconvenienced, but one guy's answer was, well, when you meet that person, put it in your iPhone in your contacts. Put their pronoun next to their contacts so you'll never forget. I'm like, is there a better way than this?
Michelle was talking about this the other day, that I think she was seeing this on LinkedIn on people's profiles where they have their name and then their preferred pronouns. So
at least they put it though. Like, that's what I'm saying. From an outsider looking in, I just want to know what to do. I'm that type of guy. Tell me what to do and I'll do it. Not like, anything, but it's reasonable. I know what you're thinking over there.
I feel like, once again, this is another topic that if you don't go along with something that someone feels or believes in, then you're going to be labeled as a homophobe, an LGBTQIA hater.
You got all.
He said them all. He said them all.
Yeah, because I actually just looked it up. I did.
Y'all be cheating. I'm free balling this shit.
No, I actually did. I just looked it up. I'm not gonna lie. That's how it is. It's just like the conversation with money. If you don't allow it to happen, you will then in turn be labeled something that will be detrimental to you as a person. That's detrimental to your business, to your team, to whatever the case may be. It's terrible. It's terrible. You are no longer allowed to disagree with someone.
Do you think that if I am if I own my own bakery and you and your husband comes in and wants me to make their birthday cake, their birthday or either their wedding cake, should I have to make it?
Should you have to make it? No. See, once again, as a business owner, you have the right to refuse service to anyone.
Right.
So if you don't want to make said person's cake, no, sir, I do not want to make your cake. I refuse your business. I have the right to refuse your business.
So
and then,
Twitter is Twitter okay with refusing Trump's business by making them get off the platform?
That's their business. Just like, he was saying, not too long ago, every business has the right to make decisions that are in the best interest of their company or whatever the case may be. So if Twitter feels like that they would better be served not having Donald Trump there, then that's a decision that they're going to make.
Okay, so at least you're on both sides, because most of the times on that argument, it's like you don't have to bake the cake, and they have to let them on Twitter. Like, no, they don't. They're private.
Yeah,
they don't want to deal with them.
Exactly. If they choose not to deal with them, they choose not to deal with them. But the downside to what's going to happen to you as that bakery owner, when that couple comes in and you refuse to bake their cake and you tell them, I just refuse to bake your cake, and they're looking for a reason, and you're like, I just refuse to take your service, you are now going to be labeled. They're going to jump on social media. They're going to get on Yelp. They're going to tell every single one of their friends. And your business is going to be over. Your business is going to be over. Everyone's going to pick at you.
Or what's been happening lately, that happens, and then other people find out about that as well, support that bakery, and now their numbers go through the roof. That's happened too.
That's a possibility. That's a rare possibility, but that's a possibility.
Isn't that also the free market?
Again, capitalism.
You can say it's cancellation, but
if you don't like this capitalistic country, then take your two commie ass out of here.
But when going back to what you were talking about earlier with someone that you work with, when they come in, that they feel like they want to dress like a man, or they want to dress
Like
like a woman.
literally, it changes day to day.
Yeah. So I do not feel that people should be subjected or forced to have to deal with something like that. If everyone in the locker room is like, hey, you know what? If Tom comes in here and he's dressed like a female today and we're all accepting of that, all right, cool. But if there's one single person in that locker room is like, listen, I don't feel comfortable with Tom coming in here and getting undressed and me getting undressed in front of him, then that's a problem. And that person should not have to be subjected to that. And it's ridiculous that we as a society,
it's kind of a weird thing, because it could be at a country club, it could be a private club, or it could be a gym, a public place. You know,
if this is what we're going to do now, then there need to be 3 locker rooms.
So
there need to be male, female. There need to be male, female, and then there needs to be.
No, there can't be. There has to be male, female, zer, her, z, fee, 3. I think there's like 8 of them. So how are you going to put all of them? You're going to put boys over here, girls over there, and all the rest of you, let's go in this middle bathroom? Like, you
I'm
can't
just
do
saying,
that either.
but you can't subject high school students who are participating in sports, and there's a boy who identifies as a girl, and he's allowed to change in the locker room with the females. And they have to be okay with that? No,
yeah,
cool.
I used to also work. This is kind of the same thing. I used to work in a private facility, let's call it, and the general manager was a gay man, a very nice gay man, and obviously he used the men's bathroom. He's attracted to men, and he used the men's bathroom, and I'm attracted to women, but I can't go in the women's locker room. And it was kind of like he was always in the bathroom, like double checking what people are mopping and wiping up, like always in the back. Like, that's not right to the people that are not only coming in there. It's not a public place. Like, they pay to come there, you know? So I always wondered that. I worked there for a while, and I was just like, that would be so weird if I could just go hang out in the women's locker room. Just sit there in front of the sinks, you know? As it is weird, but now that's like not even, I mean, gay men go in the men's locker room, right?
There's one of the challenges here is that I think that when you have somebody who's obviously, I think what you're saying here is maybe we're spending too much time in the locker room for the wrong reasons, right? That they were
right.
In there.
Well, my point is this.
Let me just clarify.
Okay.
I think the differentiation here is not between whether or not they're gay or straight. It's whether or not they're a pervert or they're not a pervert. And that's part of the. I think that's part of the issue that has historically been for homophobia has been based on the idea that homosexuals are perverted, that they are by nature perverted. Now, I think that that's not the case, generally speaking. That most homosexuals are not going to go into the men's locker. Homosexual men are go into the men's locker room just to look at naked guys.
Right. But I have a counterpoint for that.
So anyway,
they're men. You have
Okay.
to remember that just because they're attracted to another man doesn't mean they're not a man. And we all know how men are. That's why I'm not saying you're going to see a gay woman like men are attracted by what they see. Women are attracted by what they hear. No matter what, if they're gay or not, they're still a man, right? So you still got that dirty ass man, Mickey Wright type of dirty, nasty mind. You know what I'm saying? Regardless of who you're attracted to, you're still a man. So I think gay men have a way more people think that perverted. He must be perverted. He must be perverted because he's a fucking man, and all men think about is sex, regardless of who you're having it with, and women don't. So I think
I'm not willing.
I
to say
think
that.
gay men get more called perverted than gay women for sure.
I don't
Right?
know if that's necessarily the case just because of the gender there.
Oh, I do.
I'm not willing to concede that, but I only have one point of reference. I'm just, a straight guy.
Straight man. Oh, well, you know who does have a fucking point of reference? Brian motherfucking McCartney says, boom, bitch.
So I do agree with Brian's point, where he said at some point logistics need to have some general rules. The odds of pleasing everyone are statistically insignificant. I do agree, and I do not believe that it's the conversation was about the perversion of the man or the woman. I'm not comfortable with that. If we are in a society where we are like workplace harassment, if you are not comfortable with what someone is saying to you, whether they are a male or a female, and you have every right to tell them to stop and have every right to report it, then why does this high school student, male or female, not have the right to say, I don't feel comfortable with this person in the locker room?
I think they do have that.
They
Especially
should
if it's
have that right.
if it's a public or private school, really.
Yes, I think they should have that right. I don't feel comfortable with that. I do not agree that men who were born men and now identify as women should participate in women's sports.
So you don't even care about the sexuality part because there's no difference. There's no difference of a gay man being in a men's locker room and a transgender being in the women's locker room.
Yeah.
Right?
No.
So you're taking the sexuality out of it. You're just saying straight up biologically they shouldn't be in there because other people the opposite biologically would be offended. Not offended, but uncomfortable.
Yes, because you're forcing someone to have to feel a certain way. If they don't feel comfortable with that, who are you to tell them that they're wrong? Who's the school system to say, no, you have to be accepting of such and such who is now identifying as a female or who is now identifying as a male, and they're going to be changing with you? No. How dare you say that my child has to think that way or feel that that's accepting? That is
don't even get me started about the sports thing. We all have to agree that sports thing's getting out of control. I don't care if you say you're a woman, and if you're still biologically a man, you should not be in a freaking steel cage with a woman.
Exactly.
Yes, you want to talk about equal rights, we know, but body structure is not the same. Nothing is it like that dude is cracking girls' skulls open.
Challenge. I think that's a big challenge that there's no easy answer for either. I mean, I think you're right, but I mean, are you going to have those women fighting men, those trans women fighting men? I don't know if that's fair either.
That's not fair. That's not fair either. That's not. It should not happen.
Again, there's no. That's why I say it's no. I don't think
that's why but that's the whole point. We have women's and men's sports. People can think it's because people are sexist, but it's not. It's because we're physically not the same. I know you can find a jacked up woman that can bench press more than my short little fat ass. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying in general, our bone structure is different. Everybody knows it. It's there's no arguing that. So no, they should not be in the same, especially a fighting ring. If you want to fucking play field hockey against a woman, makes you feel better, go ahead. Even running track, you're gonna have an advantage, I guess. But fighting, nah, can't happen, bro.
No, it's totally unacceptable. And we are in a culture where, we have to be accepting of such and such, and if we aren't, then we're going to be labeled as something. Labels are terrible, but labels are just like money. They make the world go round. So
that's what my uncle always says. My uncle Joey Coco Diaz always says, it's science, cocksucker. It's science.
It is true. It's true. It's literally true.
Yeah,
you can't.
are we
reinventing science now? Is that what we're doing? I mean, we tried to reinvent math with Common Core, and we saw how terrible that was.
Oh shit! I can't. I'm gonna plead the Scott on that one. I'm gonna preference this statement with I don't really know what Common Core is.
Common Core math is terrible.
I've heard it before, and I've heard people be pissed off about it. But I'd be sitting here lying if I told you I knew what the fuck it was.
Bro, Common Core is terrible, bro.
Is it science though?
No, it's not in science, but Common Core is in math, and so they're trying
is it science?
Is what science?
Common Math, Common Core. Is it? I mean, mathematics is also scientifical. I'm just saying that is it just fake, or is it just another way? Is it the other way to get the answer?
It's teaching you another way to get the answer. So the normal way that we were taught when we were in school, 2 + 2 is 4, all that stuff. They are coming up with a different way to get students to come up with this answer. So they're trying to get us to think critically. So the United States is behind a lot of countries in math and science. We are behind, like literally. So what they're trying to do is they're trying to get our new youth to think critically when it comes to these situations.
Isn't that good? Don't you want to think critically? And if you get the answer, isn't it the same?
That's
What
what
if
I
you
say.
get it faster? If you get it faster and the answer's, I mean, math is math. How can it not be? That's what I'm asking you. I don't know. Is it fake math or is it real math? It's just another way to get the same answer. And if it is, then the whole goal is to teach the kids how to get the answer. But let's ask
Exactly.
Brian because he apparently has a math degree. So we'll let him chime in on this. Do you know what it is, Scott? Common Core?
Really?
Me either. I can't speak on it. I think I heard my son
I
talking
like
about
that,
it.
Brian. I like that. Good job, Brian. Well said.
Oh, okay. Is that what kind of is based on to get the test scores up so our teachers can get more money? Because I'm for that too, because they need more money, bro.
They do. Teachers do need more money. They are hurting.
Paid like a motherfucker. Them and nurses, I
hurting.
feel so bad for.
We all agree on that.
Teachers
Fuck
are so undervalued, and it's sad that there are parents out there who when a teacher calls and a teacher's like, listen, your son or your daughter did X, Y, and Z, or they need this, that, and the third. And there are parents out there who would say, well, that's your problem. You have them from this time to this time, so you deal with it. I have them from this time to this time, so I'll deal with it when they come home.
You fucking with a New Yorker when you hear this, that, and the third. I ain't heard that shit.
I'm just saying.
This,
I'm
that,
just
and the
saying,
third.
bro.
X, Y, and Z. 1, 2, 3.
Yep.
We most definitely agree that teachers need to be paid more.
Yes.
Do you think this is
Learn a fucking trade.
Jason,
I'm
I'm
looking
wondering-
for an apprentice right now, bro. Nobody wants to work these days.
Yo, but that's terrible. That's this new generation. This new generation does not know how to work. They want everything to be handed to them. They want an instant gratification. They have instant gratification in their hand. That's where they have the instant gratification. And so when they're going through life and they don't have parents who teach them work ethic and the value of a dollar, they think that everything should be handed to them. So you have these kids that go out into the workforce and they think that they should automatically be making as much as a CEO or something like that. No, you have to start from the bottom and work your way up. But to them in their mind, no, I should automatically get that.
Well, some of them are born on third base and they're not going to do that. But, I think that's the right saying, right, Scott? Born on third base, hit a triple, bitch.
Yeah, born on third base thinking you hit a triple.
Yeah,
I don't know what. Let me look.
Yeah, it's
that
just
up.
saying, some rich kids are just set up from the jump. But
That is true. That is true.
I mean, trust me, dude, it is crazy. And I know our parents said it about us. And really, if you want to get technical, Scott's old enough to be both of our dads. So we are talking
right
two
now.
different generations right now.
No.
Good story.
Scott, how old are you, Scott?
I'm 51.
Close, right? My
bro.
dad's 61.
No.
10 more years.
No, he's 15 years older than me. No.
Oh, that could have happened.
I'm 36.
Oh, sneaky Scotty at 15, baby.
Yeah, no.
Yes, but G, not you. You old motherfucker.
Hey, I just want to say this. I mean, we're at we're an hour and 39 minutes. We usually only want to go an hour. Scotty's usually in bed at 9:30. It's 10:17, so we got to wrap it up. But this was great. Shout out to Brian, Jason.
Yep.
Please come back on next week. This is great. I know you guys disagree on some things, but you guys both got your points
Well,
across.
this is the kind of disagreement that I enjoy. I mean,
I do. I really do. I appreciate this kind of conversation.
But
really
I didn't
good.
want to cut everybody off. So Scott, I know sometimes you're taking mental notes through conversations. I could see you a little angsty when we were going back and forth. Anything else you want to clarify or do before we get off? And Jason, you too. And then you go, Scott, you go, Jason, and then I'm gonna get us out of here.
I got nothing else to clarify, man. There's a lot of stuff we talked about that
Brian just committed. Brian just committed to come on next week, Wednesday, 8:00. Let's talk about a podcast. Maybe Jason can come back. We can have a little panel thing. That's what we're trying to do. Get a little panel together. Talk about it, man. Instead of these negative ass comments on Facebook, you get in these arguments every day. By the end of it, you're like, what am I doing? I'm wasting my time. People take shit out of context. We put up this show so you can come in, boom, talk about it.
That's right. That's right.
And I appreciate y'all.
All right. I'm done.
All right. So let's get out of here. Jason, thank you so much for coming on. I
appreciate it, guys. Thank you for having me.
Maybe your schedule will let you come on next weekend.
Yeah, hopefully.
Love you. Keep it real. Keep it real, cocksucker. See ya. All right, Scotty. Hey, man, great job, man. I think it was a good podcast. We're going to share it. We had a lot of interaction. It was a wonderful conversation, and that's what we're here to do. I know you had a long fucking hard fucking day to come in here after golfing all day and throw your fucking hoodie on. Still look 40 fucking years old. I don't know how you do it. Must be all that goddamn kale shakes you're drinking. But you're doing something right. But I love you. I'll see you next week.
Right.
We'll see you then. Okay, buddy?
Peace.
Peace. All right, man. Thank you, guys. I'm exhausted, but that was good shit. That's how we do it. That's how we do it every Wednesday night. Tune in. If you want to join the show, if you want to talk about the show, if you got a small business, any kind of community events going on, fundraisers, golf tournaments, anything you want to do, come on, holla at us, talk about it. We'll post it, blast it all over the intranets for you. Shout out to Brian McCartney for coming in. Very active tonight. We're going to try to get him on the show next week. Very, very, very close friend of mine. Shout out to Covey and Lanier, June Hardenberg, my mom, Mickey Wright, Jason Ryer also came on the show. And of course, Lefty Lucy himself, the motherfucking left assassin. What they call him? The liberal assassin. Scott motherfucking Hicks, my co-host. I don't give a fuck how many emails I get about him. That's my guy, and he's going to be here every week. Don't get canceled. Keep your head up. Keep grinding. Don't get canceled. Keep your head up. Keep grinding. Don't get canceled, okay? And we'll be right back here again next Wednesday night, 8:00. Let's Talk About It podcast. Holla at your boy. I'm your boy.